suspense is killing us. Good evening. My name is Ken Polgrab. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Congregation BethChaim, it's an honor to welcome you here this evening. I want to maintain a warm and welcoming feeling for these services and create a sacred space that will inspire prayer. Please help us by turning off all cell phones. For the benefit of those who cannot be here in the sanctuary, we live stream our services and our photographer posts pictures on social media. Please see an usher or board member if you do not want your image to appear, and we ask that no one else take pictures during this sacred hour. For those who wear hearing aids with T-coil setting, you'll be able to access our new hearing loop using this setting. Headphones for those who do not have compatible hearing aids and large print prayer books are available near the sanctuary entrances. Shabbat Shalom.
These words are also on page 339, but you won't need them because they're right there. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Kol hanshama te'aleliyah.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm going to do something I've never done before. A three-part Devar Torah, broken up into three parts throughout the service. So the first thought, to help set the mood for prayer. It comes from the story of creation. We know that on the first day, God created the heavens and the earth. And then on the second day, we're told God created light. The question is, and I've asked this in one of the smaller groups throughout the year, what is that light? See, the trick is that the sun and the other heavenly bodies weren't created until the fourth day. So we know that this is not the light of the sun and the planets, and so the rabbis search to ask the question, what is the light that's created on the second day? And in a beautiful midrash, they teach the following, that after God created the heaven and the earth, God spread divine light throughout the world. The challenge was that that light was so all-encompassing, so magnificent, that there wasn't room for any other creation. And so God gathered that sacred light, that holy light, that awesome light, and put it into sacred vessels. And as God created the rest of the world, it came after creation was finished that those vessels could no longer contain that light. And so the jars shattered, and the light spread. And the Midrash teaches that it is those shattered vessels that is the world as we know it, broken and imperfect, and yet the vessel of greatness, of awesomeness of the divine. And so the Midrash teaches that that's where we come in. That we are to partner with God to gather that light and to repair those vessels in a way to make the world better and more whole and more righteous and more blessed each and every day. That it's our hands that bring God's presence to this world and to help move the world to where you and I want it to be. So as we light these candles, let them serve as a reminder of that light, a reminder of a world that we can bring increasing light to. If only we do our part to reach out to one another, to act out of righteousness and goodness and blessing, to be God's hands in this world. Shabbat Shalom. It is my great pleasure and honor to invite he who will be called to the Torah tomorrow morning as Bar Mitzvah, Brian Brown, along with his family, to the honor of bringing light to the sanctuary through the lighting of Shabbat candles and through Kiddush, beginning on pages 2 and 3.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all those who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled the light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'chad likner shel Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, be'al-hava uvratzon, yinchlilanu, zikaron lema'aseh bereishit, ki hu yom tehillah lemidrayet kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki banu bacharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha, ve'al hava uvratzon, inchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat.
Chaim.
We enter the sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into the sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer.
Friends, we continue as we greet Shabbat in song, pages 20 and 21. Please join us in Lecha Dodi.
La 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 lecha dodi, la 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 likrat kala, la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat tekabel, la 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 lecha dodi, la 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 likrat kala, la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat tekabel. שמור וזכור בנבולתך השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד שמו אחד השם הוא תפארת ולתהילה Ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat tekabela, likrat Shabbat לכו ונלמד, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם Ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat tekabela. Verse 5, Hitoreri, Hitoreri, Ki ba'orei, Ubi ori, 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 Shir da'peri. כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה יללה לך דודי יללה לקראת כלה יללה בני שבת תקבלה בואי בשלום עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובתודה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. יאללה לה 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 לך דודי, יאללה לה 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 לקראת קלה, יאללה לה 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 פני שבת, פני שבת נקבל, יאללה לה 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 לך דודי, יאללה לה 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 לקראת קלה, יאללה לה 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 פני שבת, פני שבת נקבל.
Please be seated. A second thought. Only this week, from this week's Torah portion, Parashat Bo. So just to catch you up, unlike the movie, well, let's just say we're in the early chapters of the book of Exodus, but we're about 2/3 of the way through the movie. We're in slavery, yada, yada. This week, plagues 7, 8, 9, and 10. And the part I want to share with you is plague 9. So you can imagine, plague 9 we know is going to set up the big one. And after blood and boils and lice and hail, you got to figure number 9 is going to be a doozy. And then we find out that the 9th plague is that darkness should cover the land. Darkness? The thing is that the rabbis of old told us that this darkness that covered the land wasn't just ordinary darkness. It was so dark and paralyzing that the Egyptians couldn't see anything near them even a few inches away. It was so all-consuming that it was not only physical darkness, that it became emotional darkness. It became emotional isolation. And while this was happening, what does the Torah tell us? The Torah tells us that the Israelites had a very different experience. It does not say that for Israel there was no darkness. Rather, it says for the Israelites there was light. And so the rabbis throughout the generations asked the question, how can the Israelites have light when all of this darkness pervades, and what was this light? And Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev, the Hasidic 18th century teacher, said that the light that the Israelites experienced during that 9th plague was a little bit of that light from creation that we talked about to begin this service. It was holy light. It was divine light. It was light that was part, essentially, whether literally or metaphorically, part of the divine presence. That the Israelites experienced, and literally, as we would say in English, they saw the light. They saw and felt and experienced the comfort of God's presence to start to bring them out of isolation, as the Egyptians, for a moment in time, started to experience what the Israelites had endured for over 400 years. And so that light that was within Israel is that same light that we remind ourselves that we need to gather up and use, but also the light that represents God's perfection and love, the part of God that can inspire us and be with us and lead us. Shabbat is all about separating out for ourselves for one day those dark things that fill our lives, to do our best to concentrate on the light and the blessings that we have in our lives, to focus on the love of family, God willing, on health, on what the world could be if you and I could make it. This day is about focusing on the light of God's presence in our lives. So as we prepare for prayer, to celebrate and to give thanks, let it remind us of God's presence and God's love. Let it remind us of all of our blessings that we share together and ourselves. Our service continues on page 26. We rise together for the Reader's Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועל מה יברח חילותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי דקודשה בריחו. נעלמין כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Arechu et Adonai ha-mevorach. Arechu et Adonai ha-mevorach. Baruch Adonai ha-mevorach leolam va'ed. Baruch Adonai לעולם ועד.
In the middle of page 31, we continue together. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv arabim.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם יומם ולילה, נגה יומם ולילה. ואהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. לה 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 לה. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. לה 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 לה. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך. לה 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 ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך ובשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. לה 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 למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 39, responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your right. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
מי כמוך בעינים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, נורא תהי לא זו ספר, נורא תהי מלכותך ראו בניך, חוקי הים לפני משה ומרים זה עניינו ואמרו, אדוני אינו לעולם ועד, אדוני אינו לעולם ועד. יה לה 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 לה, יה לה 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 לה, יה לה 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 לה, יה לה 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 לה.
Hashkivinu is found on the slide before us.
Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in compassion and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, Ve'hamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from sorrow and pain. Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, Ve'hamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim.
Page 44, we celebrate the gift of Shabbat with the words and melody of Vishamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בין היא ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים, את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
A thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat arrives in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night. Eternity utters a day. Page 46, we rise together.
יגיד תהילתך, יגיד תהילתך. Na 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 Adonai, na 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 Adonai, na 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 Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש, ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated as we continue together on the top of page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh ha-Shabbat. Page 57, together, ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land and Zion restored in all lands. You are our God, whom alone we serve and reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, shotecha lebaracha, b'yirah na'avod.
Our prayer of gratitude, Modim Anachnu Lach, on page 58. If there is anything for which we are especially grateful this week, please let me, yes. Okay, no big snow in January. I like it. Yes. Good weather for the weekend. Yes. Successful surgery, good healing. Modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach. Yes. All right. Anyone else? Yes. Okay. And tomorrow you'll be thankful that it's over. Anyone? Yes. To life, l'chaim. Modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach.
Let us join together on page 60 as we imagine a world filled with perfection, filled with shlemut, filled with shalom, with wholeness, and with peace.
Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Sim Leolam. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Sim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon bechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon bechol hashalom. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Sim Leolam. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Sim Leolam. V'tov b'necha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Sim Leolam. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Sim Leolam. Baruch atah Adonai Hamarech et amo Yisrael Bashalom. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Sim Leolam. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Sim Leolam. Sim Leolam. Sim Leolam.
We continue with silent prayer and meditation.
So imre fi vegion libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri vegoali
From the prayer a moment ago for shalom, for shlemut of the world, we now turn to the prayer of shalom and shlemut for each person, for each one of those of us in this sanctuary, our friends, our family, our loved ones, and all throughout this world. For the word of shalom, the root shin lamed mem, is the same word for shlemut, for wholeness. So when we share Misha Berach, we pray for shlemut, for the wholeness of mind, of body, of spirit. on this Shabbat, we again turn to that theme we talked about earlier, to understand that we're the ones that are God's hands in this world. That God does not decide who will heal and who will not, but rather God partners with us to reach out to each other, to bring hope and love, and we pray to thereby facilitate wholeness and healing. So as we say these names, we pray, eternal God, that you will inspire us to partner with you to bring hope and love and healing to all who are in need. On this Shabbat, our prayers join together with Rhoda Schwartz, Arlene Grable, Teddy Molaski, Nathan Hector, Claire Meyer, William Giacosola, Steve Bizanov, Marion Berman, Jim Brown, Mary Jantis, Len Greenberg, Leah Summers, and with those who we invite for you to add to our list, that we may join with you in prayer. May they all come to know a refuah shlema, complete and a speedy recovery, as we join together with one voice in our prayer for healing, El Na Rafan Allah, on the screen before us.
El Na Rafan Allah, El Na Rafan Allah, El Na Rafan Allah, El Na Rafan Allah. And Moses cried, heal Miriam, this I pray. And Moses cried, heal Miriam, this I pray. El Na Rafan Allah, El Na Rafan Allah, El Na Rafan Allah, El Na Rafan Allah.
Okay, a third message this week again from this week's Torah portion above. So I already told you we're doing the plagues, and we finished the 9th plague, darkness. And then comes the preparation for the 10th plague. You know what it'll be. The angel of death will pass over. And that scene that comes from the movie, how many of you saw the movie? That vivid scene worthy of a movie that receives Movie of the Year and Best Actor. Well, actually, it was 80 Days Around the World and Yul Brynner for another, but a great scene, remember? The children of Israel are running around preparing for the angel of death, and they take the lamb's blood and they put it over the doorposts of their house. In fact, there's even that beautiful love scene where Joshua goes to the house of Dathan because his true love has been given to Dathan, and she's a firstborn, and he wants to make sure she'll be safe. So he puts the blood over the doorposts and gets caught. And then you know what happens the moment, the screaming, the darkness, the child who asks, why on this night is it different from all other nights? There's just this one little thing. According to the script being the Torah, well, actually, according to the great commentator Rashi, who refers to the script, the movie got it totally wrong. That scene is not how it happens. You see, Rashi, who's the great commentator, 11th century from France, the one that we refer to as the ultimate authority on the pshat, the simple meaning of the text, 800 years before the movie, he says they got it all wrong. And here's what he refers to. He's commenting on this verse from the book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 13, that says, "And the blood on the houses where you are staying shall be a sign for you. When I see the blood, I will pass over you, so that no plague will destroy you when I strike the land of Egypt." And Rashi, who parses out the words, says the following, "And the blood will be a sign for you." The blood will be for you a sign and not a sign from others. And from here it is derived that they put the blood on the inside of the house across the doorway, not on the outside. See, Rashi says it should be a sign for the children of Israel that as the angel passes over, don't worry, you'll be okay, God will be with you. And Rashi says the children of Israel, to see that sign, to know that with all the screaming and the fear, to know God is with them, they needed the sign, and so they put the blood on the inside of the house. God could see it wherever it was. In fact, though, Rashi in a second comment says, God didn't need to see inside. Didn't need to. God's God. God could see and know who the people are and what they are, whether they're Egyptians, whether they're Israelites. Rashi re-emphasizes that this is all a ritual for the people. It's to help them overcome fear and to prepare for liberation. It is that same understanding of ritual that the rabbis talk about with the sacrifices. When they ask, why does God need barbecue to know that the people are asking for forgiveness of love, the rabbis remind us the ritual of sacrifice isn't for God, it's for the people. It's for them to know they're connecting with God. And then they tell us, after the destruction of the temple, when there are no more sacrifices, that's what prayer becomes. Prayer is the sacrifice of the heart. Prayer is not the words we shared today. Thank you, God. Please, God. Praise God. It's not for God. God knows how we feel. It is God's gift to us to remember and to remind ourselves that what we say and what we do makes a difference. In fact, that's the whole purpose of ritual and the things we do according to our people. And see, we as Reformed Jews who don't believe we do the ritual, the halakha, to follow the law, we do those things as vehicles towards holiness, to connect us and to inspire us and to lead us. So I'll tell you, whenever I work with a couple that's about to get married, I say to them, want to give yourself a gift from Judaism? Want me to show you that Judaism is actually cool? Here's what Judaism says you should do on Friday night. It's been a crazy week. The stress of life, the stress of work, you have barely seen each other. Here's what you should do. You should sit. You should light the beautiful candles. You should have a glass of wine. You should break bread together. And you should be intimate with one another. That's what Judaism says. Where do I sign up? what we do, what our people teaches us when we come together and read these words, when we listen to the magnificent words and voice of a 13-year-old. It's to inspire us. It's to say, we can make a difference for ourselves. We can take control over at least some things and make them better for ourselves and for others, and that faith in God, something greater than ourselves, can help us get there. Some pretty cool lessons this week. The beauty of knowing that God's presence, that we help make a difference. The understanding that we can help see the light and be inspired to bring goodness. And also to know that what we do makes a difference if we allow it to be, if we remind ourselves. Because if we don't, they're just words and they're just actions. I pray that during this Shabbat, we'll all do a little homework. One thing, one word of kindness, one act of kindness, to just think about doing it when we wouldn't have done it otherwise. And then we make this Shabbat not only a gift for ourselves, but a gift for the world around us. Shabbat Shalom. Friends, our service continues on page 282. We rise together for Elena.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Page 290. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch. Fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched. We prepare to share Kaddish Atom on page 294, to use the words of our sacred tradition to remind us that even in the moment of loss, we must give thanks. Thanks to God for the gift of life. Thanks to God for the precious time we had with those we loved, and to allow that time to continue to inspire us so that our loved ones continue to have meaning long after their days on earth. As we say aloud the name of one of your loved ones, we invite you to please rise at that time. As you give honor to the ones you loved, we join you and thank God for their inspiration and their presence. On this Shabbat, we continue in the period of Shiv'ah, the 7 days since death, as we remember with love Cecil Smith, the mother of Ronnie Staffenberg, and Jeff Stoller, the brother of Dick Stoller. We are in the period of Shloshim, the 30 days since death, as we recall with love Carolyn Crawford, the sister of Stanley Dorfman, aunt of Joseph Dorman. And as we remember Edwin Goldman, the grandfather of Jenny Ackerman. On the Shabbat, we also recall our loved ones whose yahrzeit is honored on this Shabbat. So we remember with love and thanks Robert Ransky, George Fenster, Ann Blum, Arthur Bobeck, Edwin Rothstein, Molly Wexler, Joyce Colbert, Evelyn Kaplan, Anita Bass, Saul Hoogstall, Leopold Grunbaum, Mary Ness, Leonard Hittner, Joseph Hittner, Ruth Hochberg, Pierre Peloton, Susan Graham, Bertha Mead, Brenda Kramer Miller, Alan Abner, Herbert Rosenblum, Joseph Abramowitz, Lillian Nemiroff, Rhoda Cohn, Florence Polikoff, Samuel Robbins, Irving Feingold, Hannah Limmer, Maureen Marcia Greenwald, Samuel Sherman, Sylvia Silverstein, Barry Ira Morrow, Louis Katz, Morris Finkelstein, Ralph Leventhal, Fritzie Meltzer, Rose Warren, Samuel Grossbaum, Seymour Weisberg. If there's anyone else observing Shiva Shloshim or a yahrzeit and the name has not yet been mentioned, we invite you to please stand and to add their name to our list that we may recall their memory with you. In honor of all whose names have been said aloud, those who remain in our hearts, and those who no longer have anyone to recall their memory, we all rise together alongside our mourners as an act of love and support. Kaddish Tom, the Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal v'yikadash meraba, Be'alma divrach le'utei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv imru. Yehei shemed abba mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitromam v'yitnas, v'yitador v'yitalev v'yitalal shemed kudesha b'richu, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, tamiran ba'alma v'imru. Yehei shalom rabba amin shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Hoseh shalom v'imrumav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, to this entire world, as together we say. Please be seated. It's my pleasure and honor first to invite Alana Berlinger to the Bima to share a few words, followed by our president, Ken Pogrub.
If you've been coming into the building lately, you've been seeing a lot of signs, WZO, the World Zionist Organization. Well, we never used to see that. We see a lot of it now. I've been a member here for many, many years, and we've never had a chance to vote for delegates until more recently, the past few years. We used to grumble about all the money went to the Orthodox people in Israel. If they wanted to build a synagogue, they had the money. If they wanted to build a school, they had the money. The Reform or Progressive movement, if they wanted a synagogue, they had to raise the money themselves. And I know some of us went with Rabbi Wisnia to Israel. We had like a partner synagogue rabbi, Mickey Boyden, and he wanted to build a new synagogue. We had gone to the old one, and he was short. He needed to build $1 million, raise $1 million to build a synagogue, and then the mayor would let him do it, and he didn't make his goal. So that was very unfortunate. That was a while back. What happens is, what we have now are representatives that we could vote for to represent us. In Israel, it's the progressive movement. It's the conservative and reform together. I'm sorry, conservative and yeah, don't mind me. A lot of things going on. And we could have a say now. As the rabbi said, we could make a difference. So here's the point where we could make a difference. And a lot of the money is going now to progressive synagogues and schools, and it's going also to some legal issues that are on our side. To give you an example, if somebody was going to or from Israel, an Orthodox man sitting in a seat, and there's a woman sitting next to him, she'd be asked to move. Well, now it's illegal. He can't do that anymore. He doesn't like it. He has to get up and find another seat. So voting is very simple. If you do it online, there's 3 steps. There's people around that during the ONEG, we could help you out. If you don't want to, there's paper, a form, you could mail in a check. It does cost $7.50. That's the charge of this whole process. And we'll be voting for delegates on the progressive slate ARZA. You can make a difference. We've made a difference already. And the amount of money we're talking about, wouldn't it be nice if you had a voice in the distribution of $1 billion? So please vote. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alana. Thank you. Vote early and vote often. So, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'd like to offer our appreciation to the ushers and ONEG hosts and hostesses for their help tonight. We'd also like to take a moment to thank the family of Ryan Brown for sponsoring the ONEG in honor of their child joining the ranks of B'nai Mitzvah. I would like to highlight a few interesting events featuring guest speakers. Sunday morning, Oded Sten, a former IDF major of Israeli intelligence, will be discussing the geopolitics of Israel and the Middle East. Sounds like a great program. Tuesday evening will be a visit from Andrew Gross, who is the executive director of the New Jersey Israel Commission, will be here. He oversees the commission's objective of promoting the development of trade, culture, education, investment, and fostering a spirit of cooperation between New Jersey and Israel. Next Friday, celebrate all things summer camp. The assistant director of Camp Harlem will be at the Rock Shabbat service to share stories about the important impact of Jewish summer camping. Before the service, enjoy a camp-style dinner, and following the service, have some s'mores at the Youth ONEG. For more information about upcoming activities, please see the signs on the ONEG tables and the magazine rack outside the main office. Shabbat Shalom.
I do want to add to those announcements that this year's Purim show it's a very Muppet Purim. Will feature a talent show built into the Purim show. So if you have any talent at all, if you're even mildly entertaining, please come to a brief meeting Sunday morning, this Sunday at noon, to sign up. We're looking for talent and we're looking for Muppeteers. So come and say hello right here in this room at noon on Sunday.
Closing song is found on page 338. Please join with us.
Adonai oz lamo yitain, Adonai oz lamo yitain, Adonai oz lamo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo, Adonai yivarech et amo, v'shalom, Adonai et amo, v'shalom, Adonai oz lamo yitain, Adonai oz lamo Adonai Olamo Yitain, Adonai Yivarech et Amo.
So I've been teasing Ryan over the last couple of weeks about how bar mitzvah is only the first step on his goal to become a rabbi. Then he turns green and white and red. But tonight I found out I was wrong. It's his path to become Rabbi Cantor Ryan Brown. A 13-year-old who can sing, and he's a man. Tomorrow morning, please join us. We invite Ryan to come on forward to have the gift of holding the challah. If you drop it, you have to also become an educator. Will you please rise together and join us?
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
You have to make sure everyone gets a piece before the end of the night, or you sleep over. There you go. Pass it around. Friends, please put your arm around a loved one. Reach out a hand to a friend. Reach out a hand. Make a new friend. Don't let anyone stay hanging. Eternal God, we stand before you in thanksgiving for all of our blessings in life, for the love of family, the support that comes from friends, the strength that comes from being part of sacred community, for all the blessings of your creation that surround us with light and love. We offer you our thanks and our praise. We invoke your name as we ask that your presence will be with us during Shabbat and the days to come.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless us and protect us.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's countenance shine upon us and be gracious to us.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Shalom.
May God's eyes remain fixed upon us. May God bless us, our people, and all peoples of this world with peace.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.